Whether or not you have established programming, diving into underserved communities can be challenging and even intimidating, especially if you're not sure where to start. I hope through my presentation and those of my colleagues to follow that no matter the size of your organization or current program status, that you may be inspired and leave here today with a better understanding and greater confidence in building your community programming, especially with the focus on underserved communities. So after that long introduction, I'd like to start out with a favorite quote, just sort of like a little icebreaker. And this is pretty much the theme throughout my presentation. I never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Okay, so community programming, what is it? What's community programming within your organization or to you? That's an open question. Anyone? Community programming. Jim, what's community programming to PRRT?
It's engaging the community and educating them and delighting them in nature.
James, do you have any input on community programming?
Yeah, it's engaging communities where they're at on the issues that they identify.
I love that, great. Gauging where they're at. So community programming can consist of a wide range of activities and services aimed at improving and serving one or more communities. What James said is so essential though to meet people where they are at, based on their wants and needs, not our own. Why do we do this? Why do we have community programming? We sort of touched on it a little bit, but does anyone have anything to add? Anyone?
Build trust.
Build trust. Love it. Anyone else?
You get people involved.
Yes.
Sometimes to diversify our own membership.
Oh, that's so important. Diversify our own membership. Anyone else?
Tap into their wisdom.
Tap into their wisdom, right? So we can learn a lot, right? We can learn a lot from others. We can learn a lot from our community. Anyone else?
Create environmental stewards.
I'm sorry.
Create environmental stewards.
That is perfect, right? Or everyone here, we're all, well, we're not all environmental organizations, but we're all environmentally minded, right? So we want to create with our programs, community or environmental stewards. So the reason for community programming can vary between organization, your mission, so your organization's individual mission statement, just lost my place, and your goals. In general, the reasons for community programs and outreach are to, as we've said, improve our outcomes for our communities, build stronger communities, raise awareness, and in the case of environmental organizations, create good stewards of the world around us. Why am I even up here? You guys pretty much know your stuff here. So, special focus on underserved communities. Community programming at its core is a pretty simple concept, but what happens when we frame the programming with the focus on underserved communities? What happens with that frame around it? How do our what and why change when we add the who of underserved communities? To help us enhance and hone in our focus and truly answer these questions, CDRW has created a tool to help the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice, or DEIJ lens. This is a tool to create understanding within and to help us address the true needs and wants of our communities. I'm gonna give you a second to go ahead and scan this QR code so that you make sure that we continue to wear the lens. We've developed an environmental justice and equitable opportunity strategic plan. Through this plan, we set goals that will increase equity and inclusion in and around the Brandywine area. Its goals emphasize stakeholder involvement, community partners or community participation, justice, and community empowerment. Then if you would like an example of, right here, this QR code. All right, so we've discussed wearing the DEIJ lens and how to have a special focus on our underserved communities. So how do we build our programs? How do we build the community programs? The concept is easy, but how do we bring it to fruition? The first question that I ask myself is so the first question I ask myself as I'm going along and building our community programming. So I ask myself, how does the community programming fit within our mission statement? And how does our program fit within our organization's identity and purpose? And the best way to answer this question is to align your programming with your mission statement. Here's an example of our BRT's mission statement and our outreach and engagement programming statement. Just to save time, I'm not going to read it, but trust me, it aligns very nicely. So, gone through the how to wear our lens, and here are steps to build your programs from initial abstract idea through to fruition. First and foremost, we must identify and define our program. Now, this does not just mean to identify and define the program, but we must identify the community and the community's needs, as we've discussed earlier during this presentation. Wish I could read it from here. Here we go. Still can't see. Okay, we must also identify, sorry, Lucia. We also must identify our goals, identify incentives. What opportunities will this program create?